Facts. Facts.
Yep. So, good stuff, man. I missed out last week. I was kind of upset, man. I really wanted to be part of it, but I was driving, man. I drove from
Oh, I didn't tell you we were live, so that's why you
Oh,
echoed.
no, I picked that up. Oh yeah, I picked it up. No, I drove from, of course, Texas all the way off to Florida.
We still, I mean,
So it was like,
we're live, but we haven't formally started the show. So this is just,
yeah,
So go
yeah,
ahead. What you were saying
just
about the drive?
yeah. It was a hell of a drive. It was like 11, almost 12. I'd say 12, but with the kids, about 13-hour drive.
Okay, that's good to know because I'm driving there next year in May.
Yeah. No, it was some fun stuff, man. It was definitely it was, like I said, it was well worth it. But the drive over there, and I didn't realize how short you're in when you're on 10 driving from Texas over there. How short you're in Mississippi and Alabama. You're only in those states for like an hour apiece.
So you're going 10 east, right?
Yeah.
Northeast or no southeast?
Yeah, southeast. Yeah, you take you'll take 10 east all the way over until, well, we took it all the way over toward New Orleans, and then we took 12 kind of like north or around New Orleans instead of having to drive through it. So we kind of went up and around it, and then came back down on 10. And 10 takes you all the way over into Florida, and that's where the long trip is. As soon as you enter Florida, man, that, depending on what part you're going to, that bad boy is fucking ridiculous.
Man, I don't know. That's like Texas, man. You enter into Texas,
yeah.
It seems like you got 6 or 7 hours either direction you go in.
Yeah, dude, Texas. That's right. Fucking Texas. From Beaumont, or pretty much from Orange, kind of area where I'm staying at, around the area I stay at, to El Paso is literally 13 hours.
Wow, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, so it's literally a drive of what I took, and I went through 4 states.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, man. I remember that we did that drive back from El Paso to Austin when we had a break for deployment in 2009. Me, I think Duplo and somebody else. All right, time for us to
Probably
go
Gates.
Liver. That we are.
Liver.
Hey, what's going on, world? It's me again, Ethan Smith, aka Big Sarge, large and in charge of my one and only self. Taking myself up off the shelf, looking to find my greatest eternal wealth, hoping that you do the same thing for yourself. You know what it is. It's that time of the week where we speak. Grunt speak. Speak, Grunt. When we speak to you, you speak to us too. Talk about some things that you might have been going through or growing through and how we can help one another to keep making it through. That's what we're here to do, not to judge you, but to uplift you and show you a different way. Make it through this thing we call life today. You overcome the military, you can overcome some other things too. That's what we're going to do. By grunts for grunts. 11B, 11 Charlie, 0311 if you're in the Marine Corps too. We support you, we rock with you, we salute you, and all our other fellow brothers and sisters in arms too. That's what we do. Grunt Speak Crew. Whiskey Charlie, what's going on, man? How you?
Doing good, doing pretty good there, Big Sarge. Appreciate you for asking. Hey, Noah, just got back. I know we kind of were touching a little bit on it as the show kind of kicked off, and I talked to you a little bit before, but on vacation and enjoying it, every minute of it. Got to take my daughters for their birthday, both of their birthdays. Siley was last week, and Novalee's is coming up this Sunday, but we took them to Disney over in Florida. But long trip because we drove. So it was about, 11 to 13 hours, depending on, how many breaks we had to stop and do and everything else, and getting out and stretch out. But outside that, man, had fun. Never thought I would enjoy it, but also would definitely recommend definitely have some savings with you, because everything is super fucking expensive there. But yeah, dude, dude, whenever I told you earlier, man, whenever I had to pay $15 for each balloon, that I think that's what kind of stood out to me. But at the same time, my daughter's, $15 a balloon. We got two of them.
15, what type of balloons are you talking about? Like the little dollar store helium balloons, or are you talking about a big old Belle Full Life Princess balloon?
I'm talking about maybe a foot by foot diameter, like circle, like yeah. Yeah, but I mean, they're still floating right now, man. We got them, 4 or 5 days ago. They're still afloat. So I mean, whatever helium they're using in them, it's staying alive.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So outside that, man, it was a awesome thing. But it's kind of drift toward. I know we're kind of talking a little piece here and there, but kind of going toward a little bit onto our topic. Talking about. What tools did you have? I mean, you always got to be prepared. Always got to think about what you need to be successful, whatever else. But forgot whenever we left the house, we forgot our stroller and a couple things. But the stroller, man, I definitely that thing right there killed me. But good thing B&B that we had one there, even though it was a piece of shit. But it still worked. But at the end of the day, I almost got my ass whooped by like 2 sets of balloons and like 1,000 different people, because the wheel was sticking. I was having to stop in front of people, running over people with it. So, it was good, but not good at the same time. I mean, at least we had it to at least carry some of the stuff. But telling you what, man, I said if my daughter wasn't riding in it and she didn't enjoy it, I was about to pick it up and throw it in the fucking water.
Hey man, at least you survived it. Y'all had a good time. Hey man, I wanted to say that sweater and that hat looks very nice on you, sir.
Oh, appreciate that. Yeah, no, actually, pretty nice. I didn't know that Buc-ee's actually carried Grunt style gear, and this hoodie was actually only $30. Usually they charge an arm and leg for these, but $30 for the hoodie. I've had this hat for a minute now, but got that online though too. But yeah, I just try to rock out that Grunt style stuff, man. I like that. I like their gear, man. They got a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, I like that. And seeing that just made me think to myself, man, I can't wait till we create our own gear. And you're sitting there dressed in your own gear like that, head to toe. That's a nice looking sweater. It doesn't look too thick or too thin, and it looks comfortable. Like it just it's nice. I like that.
Of course, got to rock out the flag on the side, and then of course the Grunt style, and just simple and sweet. That's what I like about it. It's not too excessive, and has way too much on it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And like you said, it actually is a pretty light hoodie.
Yeah. Well, I'm geared up today. I'm just coming from a ruck, so I'm geared up like I'm ready for combat, pretty much. So, I'm comfortable. Over there. I'm prepared to go. With that weather, it's down in like the 40s out here right now, so I had to get geared up and prepared to go. And I went on my ruck, like you said. What tools do you have in your tool bag? I still have all my cold weather gear that I need when it get cold, and I still want to ruck. So, have to pull that stuff out sometimes. But with that being said, as Whiskey Charlie said early, you know what? Before I forget, and I guess I kind of already had it, but I'm gonna say it to make it more official because I didn't do it. I don't know if I did it last week and we missed it the week before, and that don't matter anymore. We're gonna do it right now. Your 1 minute win, your 1 minute war.
1 minute war, I would say is get my mind prepared to go back to fucking work next week. Man, I had a total of 12 days off, so going back to work is get to myself mentally prepared to go back to my 12-hour shifts and things like that, and rolling and trying to try to revamp myself, come back fresh, and come back in mentality of, hey, let's get shit rolling.
Nice.
And I would say the win is I would say the win is definitely the vacation, man. Hey, spending time with my family. I think I've spent more time recently. I've spent more time just getting away from a whole lot of things and just spending one-on-one personal time with everybody and with my kids and my wife and stuff like that. But my daughter Sally, she of course taking her to school and picking her up from school, that brightened her day. So that's definitely a plus on that.
Nice. One day, brother, you'll be able to do it every single day, probably long before retirement too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. I definitely.
That just depends if that's a vision for you. You know?
Come here, Sally.
That just depends if that's a vision for you.
Come on, say hi.
That's pretty cool. Hey, Sally, how are you?
He said, "How are you?"
Good.
Good. So you had a good time at Disney?
He asked if you had a good time at Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You tell me you seen Belle, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, you're making a sandwich? Come on over here.
It's already done. It's my gourmet sandwich right here.
Gourmet sandwich.
She's going on a field trip tomorrow. My daughter Zaria, they're going to the park, like a little nature park around here in our neighborhood, not too far from their school, to do some like science type experiments in the park. Love.
Yeah.
Why are you changing my lights?
What color were they?
Why she just come in and change my whole light pattern up? That's cool right there. No. No, I don't like what do people think? That's not infantry blue.
Oh. What that?
That's not so bad. Nah, that's not good.
What that?
No, that don't seem like it. No, that's not it. But anyhow, I'll figure it out. See what I got to deal with, Siley? You see what I got to deal with? Yeah, that'll work for now.
Come on, she use the water bottle. She tried to get herself water and had the lid on.
You can. You just haven't figured out.
But
so anyhow, man.
Yeah, what about you, Big Sarge? Hey,
war.
1 minute win, 1 minute war on you.
War for me right now. Okay. I guess the one war is find the right spot in the camera. But no, war for me, man. To be honest with you, I was on my walk and just making a conscious decision to completely surrender myself to God and really go after this thing. You know what I'm saying? Like knowing that it's gonna challenge me. So war is just really completely surrendering myself. You know what I'm saying? To be the best version of myself in all facets of life, but from the perspective I see that he sees. So really to start studying, you know what I'm saying? To getting in the lab again and learning self. So that's kind of a war because I know what it takes out of me. But the win in that is hey there, Nova Lee.
Hi.
Hi, Nova Lee. How are you? She's getting big.
Oh yeah, she is.
Yeah, she's so beautiful. All right, see you later.
She's seen mom.
Yeah. So yeah, man, the win is my family though. You know, me and my wife is connecting on a whole nother level. Like we get up and we've been praying together lately. You know what I'm saying? We've been laughing a lot more together lately. Not that we've been bad, but you know, sometimes you have some rough patches. But we consistently building the business in the background. So my family is doing well. My kids did well in school, and I didn't have to be on top of them. So yeah, man, I'm winning in my family. So I don't have no complaints. Even my war is really a win for me, but it's definitely a war because I know it's gonna stretch me.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's awesome, Big Sarge. That's good to hear, man.
Yeah,
That's definitely something that you know, it's good to work on. on something like that, and be able to say that's a win. Not a whole lot of people can say that, but you know, one of the biggest, of course, I know Big Sarge over here said that he's going to let me kind of run with it tonight. And one of the things, of course, the biggest topic, as y'all seen, we put on here is tools for success. And my big question is what tools for success in the military did you have, and what, of course, if you're still in, what successes what tools do you have to make you successful? I would say, me personally, I would say that my mental state was my biggest tool for success. Is mentally just be able to adapt and to learn and to listen. I wouldn't say listen because I have a hard time of listening, but just learn, and then and having great leaders. I think great battles is a good piece of my part of my success. It's a great tool to have. What about you, Big Sarge?
I think my willingness to win, my competitive, I can't even get it out right now. Competitiveness. For a long time it was with other people, but then I realized it was more so with myself. Just to better myself. So that was a tool that I was always able to pull out and get myself up for the challenge. Even if it was running in the PT test, even if it was sometimes weapons qual when I wasn't really into that. You know what I'm saying? Land nav and things like that. So even now in life, even if I didn't want to, with almost every job I've had, I've always found myself in a position of a leadership role. So that underlying competitiveness for me, like they talk about Michael Jordan sometimes, you know what I'm saying? He makes up things against people to get himself going, that competitiveness, that juice to get you going. So for me, it was like a tool that I learned more so in the Army, because there was always a way in the Army. It was like, there's no such thing as it don't fit. There's no such thing as it don't get done. It's just the people who's willing to work the hardest is going to figure it out. So it was always a competition in the Army. That's why we played Capture the Flag and stole guidons long before it was a thing on Call of Duty that we knew of, right? So just that competitiveness, and then taking that same thing even in life, like I said, in civilian jobs, and being able to continually, rise up, and not in a negative way, but seeing some of your peers or the people you started with and seeing how, you're now, it's difficult because you go now from being on the same level to now you have to be in charge of them. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's a great tool to have, and unfortunately, in our time in society right now, it's a tool that they're attempting to take away. That's why everybody get participation trophies today.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I'm gonna leave that
that's definitely true. Yeah. Now, one of my questions though is what in the military, what tools did they give you to make you successful though? I mean, as in, hey, was like tools that they given us, was it the weapons, was it the training, was it the I guess recruiting the correct people, or having, what was the tool that made it also successful outside of just being who you are and what you had to do? What tools did they give you?
The importance of time, and the importance of goals. Like, I've never really taken time seriously. I was used to probably being late, not like CP time late, 30 minutes late and things like that. But I didn't never take a job real serious. I would quit anything in a heartbeat. I would be late to football practice. I would be late to school. Like, I was never really pushed or prodded to be on time. Like, it wasn't a big thing for me. But getting in the military, although there was a whole bunch of hurry up and wait, you had to hurry up and get there on time before the time was even even around. And if you did that, you are already 80% of the way right. So I understood the importance of punctuality sets you up for more success in life. And then in 2015, I had never been a person to set goals. You know, in 2014, I remember being out on a training site in Bastrop at Camp Bullis, and the sergeant major or first sergeant or somebody had came around and they was talking about giving out these goals cards. You know how it go. You go on deployment, the higher ups got this movement they want to push or some objective they want to get across probably. So goals card was a big thing. And I remember telling my guys, just put some goals on there, right? If you don't want to do it, because nobody really wanted to do it. So I put a few goals on there, and we had a change of command. First sergeant switched, and when a new first sergeant came in, he said, "Gentlemen, you need to check your goals cards, and if you haven't accomplished any of those goals, you need to, check your compass." So I went back to my room thinking to myself, man, I probably haven't accomplished any of this. And then I realized without even looking at that card, I had accomplished 2 out of the 3 goals that I put on there. And I never really took it serious. So in that moment, it helped me to realize that the importance of being on time, even if you on time, you in the right spot, you good. And the importance of having goals to actually get yourself like where you want to go in life. That's no offense to anybody that really suffers with PTSD, like, because I was a person that suffered with it too. But when I started setting goals for myself and taking advantage of the time that was given to me, that's when I was able to see life differently. That's when I was able to use those tools that the military had given to me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, no, definitely do, Big Sarge. Hey, that's awesome. And I guess be so training on like you said, punctuality. That's a big thing. And I remember that though too. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was raised in a family, especially with my dad, about punctuality. So I believe that, that little piece was instilled into me. But I think also that the military did also assist with that. Of course, by smoking the dog shit out of me until until I understood exactly that, hey, that 1 minute does count, or that 30 seconds, bitch, that does count. So, or you felt every 30 seconds after that. So no, I definitely think I see what you're saying on there. I think for tools for success that I've seen that was in the military, I think I wouldn't say, to me, I would say a little bit of training. I think most of the training that the tools for success that I've seen was that came from the leadership that I had. So I think the leadership that some of the leadership that I had, that I deployed with, or the people that I had was well trained. So I'm thinking, I guess you would say retention of some pretty squared away soldiers would be a successful tool, a tool that they had, be able to experience and listen to some of the people that actually experience a lot of the stuff that going to foresee in my future, getting deployed, or what to expect. So I think a big thing on that was success is what would be is just retaining, even though that when I was getting out, there was like 5 or 6 of us, and then getting out, and then nobody. But we also all understood certain pieces that the reason why we didn't want to stay. We know, of course, I was a nasty girl, so it wasn't like, I guess, being an active where it's a lot different. According to some people, it's a lot different, but I would say that when it came around to getting out, whatever else. I mean, I guess I didn't have the knowledge of what it actually was going. If there was actually going to shaping up things, or I didn't feel like it was a whole lot. I felt like the military was for me, but I did not feel like National Guard was for me. But then also I met my my wife, and felt like there's a different God had a different plan for me. So I mean, I'm glad I took the route that I did. So I think definitely would be the people they did retain that I know was definitely a great tool that I've seen in the military.
Yeah, I can agree with that. The networking, the friends that I made, the brotherhoods, the bonds that I built with people, like just sitting here on this platform with you, and then hearing you talk about smoke sessions from your side of it, and then going back and seeing how I seen it from my side. You know what I'm saying? And just thinking about those things and seeing you now, and like putting a lot of those things to use that you learn from guys like Gates, DuPalo, Carl, Old Balls, myself, Seafood, Goot. Like you're like the little brother in the group of everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh yeah.
seriously. So you learned a lot. So the National Guard did work out for you. Like, and then because of the National Guard, you don't know what your path could have been with active duty, but because of the National Guard, you landed an awesome job that fits your personality, that allows you to just, do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, no,
Right.
definitely. I owe a lot to and that's the biggest thing is that people will sit back and sit here and think about things of what if I did this different route. But look, you got to be appreciative of what you have in front of you, because there's always a reasoning. There's always a reason why things happen. It's going to be a greater outcome. It's just you got to be patient for it, and I think that's one of the biggest things though too is just being patient and then just adjust to fire. You got your life is gonna throw fucking bricks at you. It ain't gonna be soft. It ain't gonna be soft blows. They're gonna fucking launch shit at you. But it's all how you take from what you take from that. And if you learn, hey, look, I need to fucking next time I need to move my head instead of taking that brick to the face, because us infantry guys, we'll just take a brick to the face and be like, shit, let's go ahead and move through. But sometimes you've got to move that head left or right or keep your head down and then just keep moving, because there's a greater outcome no matter. I believe in God and everything else, and I believe that He has a certain path for me. But whether you believe in God or not, there's a path out there for you, and there's going to be a greater outcome on the other side. You just got to keep that head. You got to keep it high, but also keep it low. In the military, they always tell us to keep it low, but in the outside in civilian life, you got to keep it up, you guys, because there's there's always going to be a greater outcome. I mean, I have a lot of things that I need to. I have a lot of things
Hold
that
on one second,
I need to
Whiskey
work on.
Charlie.
All right.
I gotta take this call from my daughter. So hold on one second, Whiskey Charlie. I'm gonna put it on mute. I need you to.
All right, you guys. While he's got us on mute and he's talking to his daughter here, but yeah, man, you just got to keep it driving, you guys. You got to keep your head held up high. But going back to our little topic that we're talking on here, tools for success, right? We talked a little bit kind of like in the military, so what tools for success that they given you, what tools of success that you gain from it, and stuff like that. But if you're out, or if you're still in, what tools for success in your life uh, is driving you to keep going, right? So my tools that I have in my life is my wife and my kids that keep me motivated, keep me going, keep me driving to what I need to be successful at. I mean, I look at them and I always got to tell myself when I see them, I look at them and I'm like, look, I can't give up. They're relying on me, and I'm not going to give up. And I rely on myself a whole lot though too. But looking at them, it just brings a whole different type of energy, a whole different type of morale, a whole different type of boost. Whenever I see them to have a smile on their face, to be able to totally support them and let my wife stay at home and take care of them and stuff like that. So my drive is from my kids and my wife.
That's pretty dope, man. That's a definitely awesome motivating factor and tool to have. You know what I'm saying, in your bag. And as a man, that that should be what your focus is. That should be what your focus is. As a soldier, our jobs was to serve and protect, to put other people before ourselves. As a man, that's our same role. Serving and protecting and being priest like and being a provider. It took me a long time to get that concept. To this day, I still am figuring it out. Right now, to this day, learning to serve my family the way I serve the military. And as a man and as a soldier, that's all you're doing is called to serve somebody else. So, like you saying, looking at your family like that, make you get up and go after it and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? That's when we were serving, you seeing people in a bad position in Iraq. That's what made you fight the way you do, along with the brothers alongside of you. So, man, you have to set yourself up for success by taking
Yeah.
even some of those triumphant things that you went through, and as David Goggins say, put them in your cookie jar. You got to use those as little tools for success to keep getting you over the hurdle, keep getting you over the hump. If you're gonna look back at anything, look back at some of the things you won at. You know what I'm saying? Like those are actually tools
Yeah.
that you can use.
Exactly.
That's another thing that the military taught you. Like you'll get your ass chewed out if you messed up, but then it was like the next minute you got to move on because the fight is a whole different way now. Like you just said about life, like it's gonna come at you whatever, however, whenever. But you got to be able to adapt and adjust because it's gonna come at you a different way. And if you don't have that bounce back in your life as a tool, you're gonna be in trouble.
Yeah, no, and kind of like piggyback off what you said earlier. You know how you said you seen the I seem to have learned stuff a lot faster than some other things, but also I kind of go off the military with a saying that they always said is stay alert, stay alive, right? I'm always peeking at things, learning from other individuals. Again, it goes back to what I was saying earlier about having good leadership and having somebody just kind of like peek at it. You don't even have to be great leadership. You can look at people and be like, okay, I don't want to do that route, right? You don't want to follow everybody's footsteps. You want to follow your own. You don't want to make your own footsteps, but at the same time, observe and learn from their footsteps of which way not to go or which way to go, and of course take those footsteps and make your own out of your footsteps out of those things, because that's a big thing right there. Is I observe everything and everything, and some people will tell me, hey, well, I did this and this how it happened. I'm like, oh shit, I don't want that route. Or if they say, hey, I'm doing this, I'm like, okay, that's cool, but I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna still have just as much success as you are, because I'm always, I want to be unique. I want to be who I am. I don't want to be like anybody else. I want to be fucking Sutton. I want to be Whiskey Charlie at everything I do. And that's who they're gonna know me from, me, not for being anybody else.
That's what's up, 100% right there, and I feel the exact same way. Like, yeah, it's an interesting concept. You know, it's like when we talk to our grunt brothers, and like I was saying earlier, no offense to anybody who handling PTSD in a rough way, it's like, hold on, man, what what tools are you using for yourself? Look what you've already overcome and what you've been through. Like you have to go back and look at what you've been through and what you've overcame, and use that as a tool as you fighting these battles in your mind from dealing with the wars and the demons and shit that we face. Like you have to go back to that every day. Those conversations you used to have with your brothers to help you get through. You got to reach out to people too. Like it's all type of tools out there for us to use. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, looking at the leadership that we had too, but it really depends on
Yeah.
you looking at you like, yo, I'm about to go do what I need to do. I'm about to be sweet.
Yeah. No, you definitely do. I mean, and again, it's all how you perceive and how you take things. If a lot of perception out there of which way to go, and I think that's a real big thing with, of course, politics and everything else these days. Is everybody looks at, hey, it's only two sides. Man, there's more than two sides, you guys. There's more than anything. If you don't have to choose a certain particular thing, right? You go all based off your own belief, man. I myself, I believe that I think 90% of people would agree with me right now that the president and the fucking state of mind that he's in is bullshit. The price is the thing, but there's a lot more in the backgrounds of everything. So you can't just blame it on one thing. If you are the in leadership and then the command that you're in, then yeah, that's based off of your doings. So yeah. I don't know. It's a rough topic to, of course, talk on, because I have things. Everybody else, you may not feel the same way, but hell, that's why you are you and I am me, and that's why I'm fucking Whiskey Charlie.
Well, that's a 2 right there for success. Believing in yourself, believing in the words that you speak for yourself and what you stand on. But no, in all seriously, that's when I think about the army or you think about 2s for success, it's like you also have to have something. Okay, so when a barber is cutting hair, his tool for success is clippers. What game is on?
Colts versus the Jets.
Oh, I don't know nobody want to see that.
Hey, look. I play fantasy, bro. I'm trying to see who does what, man. I play fantasy football, bro.
You play squares for money? I don't understand fantasy. Well, I don't really understand fantasy football, but I think I do. It's based on points and touchdowns and yards and all that type
and
of
players and stuff like that. Yeah, so I'm a big Houston Texans fan, but I watch a lot of different teams. I pay attention to a lot of different players from a lot of different teams and stuff like that. And it was funny because I was talking to a couple of young kids at talking to a couple of young kids at work, and I was telling them that we play fantasy. I have like 2-3 different leagues, and the one with them, I told them, I was like, the very first one I ever did was on paper, and you actually had to print out every player, and you had to circle out which ones you wanted, keep that in a certain pile, instead use a marker board and stuff like that. It wasn't no app or anything else that you can use and that would tell you when they're injured or whatever else. You had to figure it the fuck out.
Crazy.
Rodriguez.
You seen that? Yeah.
No surprise there. That sounds like every other fucking man that I know.
Yeah. Pretty much. I definitely had the alcohol and the caffeine. I just didn't have the tobacco. I had the anger, I had the hate at times too. So yep, definitely was a tool that I took from the military that I learned real quick. Don't work in a civilian world.
It does, but it don't at the same time, depending on what your job description is.
Well, true. Depending on what your job description is.
Dude, I wake up in the morning and I drink maybe 2 to 3 cups of coffee, and then if I have to work, I go into work and I have an energy drink on the way into work at the same right after each other. And I usually don't eat until probably about 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
And here I am dying over here and crying over here for maybe having 3 energy drinks in a week and 3 cups of coffee, and I feel like I'm killing myself.
Bro, I can drink those 3 cups of coffee and have an energy drink and fall asleep.
Wow. That's crazy. That's what's up, Rod. Just getting home from a long day of work. I see you killing it out there at the Double R construction. You be doing some pretty amazing.
Oh yeah, Oh yeah. No, big Rod out there, man.
Yeah, out there doing his thing.
Yeah,
I know you got a ton of tools in your tool bag with the work that you do in those homes.
And that's right. Yeah. So, what type of tool for success? I mean, what made a Big Rod came back? I don't know what exactly he got into when he got back, but to come out and like you're saying, seeing the success that he's having. And coming back into construction, which is not an easy thing to step into, because you have got to be able to sell yourself on your work, and you got to be tedious, and the work that he does is amazing. I mean, he does beautiful work. I've seen a lot of things he's seen the things he's done on his of course on his Facebook page and on his page and stuff like that, and man, this is astounding. But, whenever you leave the military, they always, of course, if you're 11 Bravo, they're like, oh, well, you're going to become a police officer, or you're going to go do this, that, and the other. Man, everybody's got their own routes, but you always what you put your mind to. Put your mind to. I mean, you look, Big Sarge over here, he's an inspirational speaker. I work in retail. Big Rod over here does construction. You have the capability of doing anything you want to. It's all what you put your mind to. It doesn't have to just be what infantry has, like, hey, you go into infantry, your only job, and when you get back, the only things you have. No, you have all the opportunities that anybody else does. It's all what you put your mind to.
Yeah, that's it. You know, a lot of times, man, unfortunately, some people don't have the tools to success because you come from maybe a broken home, broken family. You had a bad taste in your mouth from the military. Now that you out from a bad injury or something like that, some people don't have the right tools for success, and that's cool too. But it's definitely on you to start removing the tools in your tool bag. It's like as you get newer appliances, you need new tools. Like Big Rod doing construction, I'm pretty sure his tools he had to upgrade to do new things with tile and new cuts. And you got to do the same thing in your damn brain. Just like when we was in the infantry, we did different battle drills. We went fight from trench warfare to we went fighting to jungle. Then we had to go in the urban environment. Now we in wheeled vehicles and everything's getting all technical. You got to continue to upgrade the tools in your bag for your success. You can't keep the same tools that your great granddaddy had. Some of those tools are good, but some of those tools got to go. Some of those tools got to be put on the auction block. For real. So you can continue to move forward. What you got, Whiskey Charlie?
But that goes back earlier, you know, yeah, you can go back to that goes back to what I was saying earlier, though, is, you know, you can utilize your grandpa's tools, but just learn from those tools, right? Hey, learn from what tools he's using and whether you can, you know, we always talked about in the military, adapt and overcome, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, adapt to what tools has been given to you, you know, adapt to it and be like, okay, what tools can I use? Again, it's all about what you can do to be successful, right? Yeah, you can, just like you were saying, you know, not everybody comes out all in right mind state, physical state, whatever state of it is that they're in when they get out of the military. But you know what? It's all about what tools do you have, and okay, what can I do with these tools that I have to become successful, right? You're like, you know what? Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and drop that tool and pick up this other tool. What can I use to make myself successful, right? You can't put yourself in a negative state of mind though. At that point, right? You gotta be like, okay, look, I can do this. I can use this to make this better. You know, whatever it is. Again, whether it's a physical thing, whether it's a mental thing, you just got to adapt to it and overcome it. And how you're going to overcome it is all how you want to, how hard you push yourself to overcome it.
Facts. You heard the bell go off? Did you hear the bell go off? I don't know where that bell came from, but the bell went off as soon as you finished speaking and let you know you were speaking facts. You have to overcome it. Like, again, going back.
We got a little delay here, Big Sarge, or is it just
I guess we got.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess we have a delay because we've been kind of breaking up on and off. So yeah, we have a delay going on.
Oh snap! It's going in and out on us right now.
I'm gonna have to kick him out and wait for him to come back in.
Still there?
Yeah, I just kicked you out and pulled you back in and see if it worked out any better. Can you hear me now? I gotta kick him out. We're gonna kick him out of the stream. And then we're gonna wait for him to come back into the stream. And we're gonna see if that worked out any better. And I hope he realized that I just kicked him out to come back in. I don't want to have to text him. He'd be like, oh, he just kicked me out the stream. That's not what we was doing. But he'll come back in because he'll probably think the internet just kicked us out. When you don't have the proper tools, you use the tools that you have, you start to set yourself up the right way. That's what I got to get back with the DJ Knox. See what he have to say. Shout out to DJ Knox as he's getting better from his injuries. Not from his injuries, from his surgery. So shout out to DJ Knox. We see you, brother, getting better. But he gave me a new tool to use too, so I got to get that right for him. Hey, he back. Whiskey Charlie, what's happening?
I don't know. I was having some comm issues. You know, I need to go hurry up and call one of them pogues in to come in here and fix my shit.
Hey, there you go. And that's the last time we'll ever see him. Ha ha. I missed that part. Oh, okay. Well, I actually kicked you from the stream. When you kept breaking up, I just kicked you from the stream and I figured you would come back in, which you did. So I was happy and it kind of helped our connection in some way. But you are really going in there and we're talking about those tools for success and making sure you're having your own tools and getting set up to do what you got to do. And I was kind of talking about upgrading those tools and things like that. And, you know, again, I feel like the way you really sharpen your tools is by you serving the people around you. Like you started out talking about looking at your family and doing so much to serve your family, and you putting different tools in your toolbox because you see they have different needs. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to continue to always be sharpening you and look to add new tools to your toolbox to grow at a higher level. Just like being in the military, when you was down with the Spec 4 Mafia, when you first got in it, you was excited. But after being in the Spec 4 Mafia, saying active duty maybe 2-3 years, and the National Guard maybe 4 years, 5 years. I was a Spec 4 for like 10 years because it wasn't no war going on, wasn't no promotion. So, when you finally move on to that next level, you got some new tools to put in your box to set you up for success at that next level. And it's the same thing you have to do in your life. You on the civilian side, like we was talking about earlier, you on the civilian side, you got to figure out what tools they using on this side. It's just how it go. You got to be constantly evolving your tools if you want to grow.
Yeah, well, you also look, and of course,
I'll be right back.
I work at retail. I work at Home Depot. Of course, y'all know that. But it's all about how you also, yeah, right. But it's all about how you take care of your tools, though, too, at the same time, right? You've got to make sure that you're making sure you're keeping yourself sharp. Make sure you keep yourself up to date. Make sure you're keeping yourself how can I say keep yourself clean, as in like, hey, keep yourself up to date on things that's going on and around the world. So and it's of course about observing. One of the things is to me is the sharpest tool is observe from other people, watch from other people, watch, see what they do. That's one of the biggest things I do a lot of times is I'm always observing people, always watching. And that my tool from that is just the tool is watching people and observing and learning from them, but also critiquing and going my own route and my own way into situations. What up, Isaiah? Hope everything's going all right up your way, brother. So just chiming in, whatever else. I see a couple people in here talking, whatever else. If you're just kind of just now getting here and watching, just kind of basically just talking on tools for success. What you do in life, what type of tools you use to be successful in life. What is something that you do? What type of tool is it? Is it a mental tool? Is it a physical tool that helps you adapt and to get you where you are in life? Yeah, nice. I hope it all works out, man. Just let me know if you need me to chime in or shoot something up there for you. Whew. Mm. All right, Big Rod. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for watching, brother. Take care, man. I don't know if anybody's ever tried these, but these Mike's Hard Lemonade are like fucking legit. Oh man, things are going good there, Isaiah. Things are going good, man. Just hanging in there, working. Well, I'm on vacation right now, so not really much working going on.
My bad, brother. Had to go use a big boy latrine.
But if you shake it more than twice, you're playing with it.
And it's mine.
5 times?
It's mine. And plus, sometimes I take my battle buddy in there, Miss Smith. She helped me out.
Do you hit the bat wing with it?
My battle buddy, Miss Smith, helps me out sometimes. So I have to shake it with multiple hands. This show might not be for kids, but kids will be blessed by it if you listen to the rhetoric. But no, in all seriousness, the topic that you bring, the question that you pose, tools.
What he said, the rhetoric, whatever the fuck that means.
The tools for success, the topics that you bring, the tools for success, what you had in the Army, what you have now, and how you're using it. I think that's a question we have to ask ourselves on a regular basis. And it's like, how do you check that? It takes me back to the Army PCCs, PCIs. Like, you checked your own stuff and then somebody else came and inspected you to make sure you do it. And a lot of times we get out of the military and we get away from people who check us, or we get offended if somebody check us. How do you expect to grow if ain't nobody checking what you doing? Somebody checked you in the military before you got to your next rank. They asked you the questions to make sure you knew before you got promoted. They checked your weapon and you improved by that. Somebody check your work at work before they just promote you. So it's like, even in life, you got to do those PCCs and PCIs, and you got to have those leaders that you still like, that's got it together to mentor you, to coach you, to guide you through, because that's another tool for success to help you. So if you ain't doing PCCs and PCIs on yourself, I don't know how you expect to get better.
Yeah, and sometimes some of our battles out there don't have that somebody to come in and spot check their shit, but you've got to again, it's all about, like what I was saying earlier, sometimes you spot check yourself by observing what other people are doing, especially if you see somebody being as successful as you want to be or going a route that you want to go, right? So sometimes you got to spot check. Okay, just ask them the questions, man. Don't be afraid to ask questions like, hey, what are you doing? Why are you doing it that way? That's a big thing in any type of work. If you want to be successful as someone and still take your own route, you still want to ask those questions to those individuals and be like, okay, what did you do? How'd you do it? How'd you become as successful as you are, or what tools did you use to get you in the route that you're going, right? That maybe is again, it could be a mental tool that, like, hey, look, I just pushed myself hard, or it could be a physical tool. Look, I use A, B, and C to get me to where I'm at right now, and that's one of the things you really got to look at, and you've got to ask those questions. If you don't ask questions, you're never going to know. And sometimes those people out there, there's a lot of people out there willing to help if you just ask the question. Ain't nobody going to ever hold anything. There's only going to be a handful, like maybe 10% of the people who are going to ever hold their information of how they became successful. But you can go online and read on anybody and everybody that's a fucking billionaire and find out which route they took to get up to where they're at right to this day. Must be some good chips, Big Sarge.
They are, and that drink looked rather good to go with my chips. But I'm rehydrating.
Yeah. Oh yeah, was that sparkling water?
No, it's regular water. It's regular water. It's aqua banana, but I get bougie sometimes, right? I go back and forth eating meat and all that. And then I get all conspiracy theories, governmental like, and what's good for you, what's not good for you. So I
don't know if I'd go out there being speaking too much meat.
Huh?
So I don't know if I'd go out there and be speaking too much about eating meat.
Oh yeah, whatever, man. But I stopped drinking out of plastic water bottles. I started drinking out of glass bottles again, and there's not too many companies that sell water in glass bottles, and this was just one of them that I found. My wife found.
Yeah. Yeah, damn, those Jets, they can't catch a break right fucking now either.
Never can.
Oh, bro, that they're fucking that running back for the Colts, man. He has probably got over 200 yards right now. Yeah, dude, he's doing work on these boys. They can't stop him if they depend on their life. They need to figure out what tool they need to use to stop that dude. Whether they need to go out there and grab a M4 and blast his ass in the leg.
They just played a tough game Sunday and beat Cincinnati on Sunday, and they had a quick turnaround to play Thursday. Yeah, them boys probably still tired. Yeah,
they gassed. Them boys are gassed.
That's why you get paid the big bucks for that turnaround, right?
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, making all that fucking money. I'm like, damn, man. I just couldn't imagine. I always tell people, man, I'll become the water boys. Shit, I don't give a fuck. They gonna pay me $100 grand a year. I'll go make sure the water boys getting water hydrated correctly. I don't give a shit.
Man, you hear about
I'll wipe the benches down. I'll keep everything nice and clean.
You hear about that?
You making that type of money?
That wide receiver from the Raiders, that young kid, Henry Ruggs.
Yeah, Henry Ruggs. Yeah, about drinking and driving and then end up killing somebody.
Well, shit, I guess if that's the way they put it, allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah, exactly.
Allegedly.
It's all perception. Yeah.
Yeah, I think somebody posted a video. I seen somebody post a video on Instagram to where he was driving in a car, driving down the street fast with the girl. And then I guess the next video was like a vehicle was on fire and he was on side of the road. And you can hear the people saying that's the guy, Henry Ruggs, that played for the Raiders. I'm like, wow, whole life might change before his eyes, man. It's just like, what was you thinking? You know what I'm saying? At 22 years old, he was thinking like any one of us was thinking at 22 years old. I'm invincible. I could do what I want to do. And sometimes if you don't go back on those tools for success that got you to the league, that practice, that hard work, that dedication, that listening to the right person, now you find yourself in trouble. Like could be in some big trouble, especially they're saying somebody died and he was like 2 times the legal limit, allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know, it's, man, the decisions, man. It's all based off of what decisions you make, man. To me, you decided, you know, you had a whole bunch of drink and you decided you want to go out and drive still afterwards. Like, you know, you made a decision on your own. Like, I've done that stupid shit before. And, you know, I don't want to say I was blessed, but I definitely somebody was watching over me for sure. Somebody's definitely watching over me. Somebody's definitely watching over me for me to make it at times that I did.
I am not bragging. I definitely was highly favored by God, something bigger than myself, because there's some days I don't know how I made it to the house.
Made it back to the hotel after the strip clubs.
Yeah, I don't know how I made it back in my uniform to go to work the next morning.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So, I'm definitely not knocking the brother. It's just it's so disappointing. You know, you would think that at that level of professionalism that you would have different tools for success in your bag. So you're not doing that. Like somebody, you know, Ubers, whatever. And I get it. You want to drive your own car, do your own thing, but it's just like, oh my God, man. Split second decisions because you don't have the right tools in your life for protocols to get you out of those type of feel good moments. Because that's all that was a feeling. That's all that was. That feeling changed your life. But if you had protocols and parameters in place, it wouldn't allow that feeling to get you off, you know, to get you off kilter, as they say. So, man, it just sucks to see that for anybody. You know, it's like I tell my kids, man, for every action, there is not just a reaction, but there's consequences that goes along with your action. And you don't get to decide all the time how the other person reacts.
Oh yeah, no, that's definitely true. Yeah, you don't know what, and the thing is crazy is of course I drink quite often or whatever else, but decisions, you don't make the smartest decision, especially when you drink. So you just got to definitely tell yourself, hey, look, hand over those keys prior to, like, make that decision. If you know you're gonna go out and get fucking hammered, or if you know that you're gonna be drinking shots and you're already starting to feel it, man, you just need to hand over those keys.
Indeed. Indeed. There's a lot of things that you can do for tools for success, man. You can read affirmations daily. You can pray. You can meditate. You can build a cookie jar. Write down all the amazing things that you did in your military career and your civilian career, and literally put them things in a jar.
Yeah.
Put them in a jar of your mind and go back and look at them. You know what I'm saying? To build tools for your success. Start to write down goals and start to make it important to you that you're on time everywhere you're supposed to be. 15 minutes early. I know it sounds crazy to you, but people will appreciate that too. That's a good tool to use for you. So there's a lot of things that you can do to get to your success. Don't worry about where you at right now. Be grateful for this time right now, and be grateful for the time and the places that you're going to grow to. The tools all depend on you. That's it. I'm done. I'm through. Whiskey Charlie, you got something else to say before we go away?
Hey, one of the things that I'm gonna piggyback off on you on this one is that hey, maybe one of those tools is for you to start planning things. Write it down, write your goals, write what you want to do. Because if you don't set yourself any type of goals, you ain't gonna go really any place anywhere soon, and you're gonna challenge yourself on those things. So, is this something that you want, something that you dream of? Write it down, and then write down what tools you need to be successful in that in that profession or whatever you want to do. So, I would definitely say that make sure that you're taking time, write down what you want to do, and then learn from again. I said it earlier in the video, man. You're gonna have to learn from those veterans, some of those people that's done it before, and just adapt and then utilize your own tools to make yourself successful.
That's it. Well, this has been another wonderful episode of Speak Grunt. Grunt Speak. You know I do it every week. When we come through, we speak to you. You speak to us too. And hopefully we do some things to say some things that help you. We thank you for tuning in, and we'll ask you again, share this video to a friend you may know, and tell them to share this to another friend, 2 or 3, so everybody have an opportunity. Oh, the chips is choking me out now. So everybody have an opportunity to see the unity between us grunts, us brother, the brotherhood that we building. So share the video, man. That's it. That's all we got to say. We gonna go. We'll see you next week. Grunt Speak by Grunts for Grunts. Everybody welcome, but everybody will not be a member. Y'all have a nice day. We out.